Stuart Robert is the Employment Minister in the Morrison government, good friend of the Prime Minister's as well, and he joins us from his Gold Coast home. Good to see you, Minister. We've got a real shortage in this country of people ready to go to work. What are you going to do about it?
It's a complex question, Gary, because there's 1.3 million people on a primary payment, a welfare payment. But of course, 500,000 of those have a disability. 90,000 would consider themselves in a degree of homelessness. Another 80,000 have got some mental health challenges. 130,000 have been released from prison. So there's a range of issues with a ready workforce. But we have to train the Australians we've got, give them absolute priority. Hence why there's $2 billion in job trainer, $3.9 billion in boosting apprenticeships. And of course, we've got to supplement that with skilled migration. And on the 15th of December, 243,000 visas were issued. So we're very cognizant of what we need to do, but it's certainly Australians first.
You know, Stuart Robert, it's, as you know, I was a minister in this space at one stage, the workforce training side of things. It just leaves me cold to think how exposed Australia is. A lot of the economic recovery we so desperately want is contingent on people getting to work if they're capable of working. Maybe some people are going to take on second and third jobs if they want to do that.
Absolutely. We've got to pull out all stops. So we've allowed those on student visas to have unlimited hours in hospitality and tourism areas. We're allowing those on an age pension to ostensibly have their age pension not frozen, but for 2 years they can go on a nil rate and work. Normally it'd be 13 weeks and you have to reapply for 2 years. You can go and work and join the workforce. And then when you finish, come straight back onto the pension. So it is not a disincentive, if you like. And of course, we're training like there's no tomorrow. Highest number of apprentices in training right now, trade apprentices, 220,000, and 463,000 Australians have taken up a free or very low fee training course. For example, $140 to do a Cert 3 in childcare through our job trainer program. So all stops are being pulled out. Federal government will spend $7.1 billion on training this year. Gary, think back when you were the minister, it would be lucky to be $2 billion. That gives you an idea of the quantum we're now investing in skilling and preparing Australians.
Yeah, indeed. I think the last vote of money was about $1.5 billion through the Australian Technical College Network and a bunch of other money after that. But look, I mean, the point here is that migrants coming from other countries are not going to come tomorrow. It's going to take time. It's going to take 6 to 12 months to get them here. This is going to stall what I hope is an economic growth story.
You're going to see unemployment come crashing down. We've already seen that. One of the only advanced countries on earth, Gary, with more of its citizens employed now than when COVID started, which is an extraordinary result. Our unemployment, of course, starting with a 4 and rapidly coming down. But if you think through the catch-up, we've had 2 years of no skilled migration. That's circa 350 to 400,000 migrants who would have normally come, both skilled and, of course, with their dependents. A couple 100,000 students, 100,000 backpackers or seasonal workers, and, of course, a few 100,000 Australians would have left the workforce, retiring and the like. So we may be short over the last 2 years something like up to 1 million workers. Now, it will take a year or two to catch up.
Wow.
But there's never been a better opportunity now, Gary, if you're looking for a job, to get a job. Right now, there's over 250,000 jobs. If I look at the Internet Vacancy Index right now.
They're extraordinary numbers, big numbers, and they really should pose the question, if you're working so hard to stay unemployed, why are you doing it? The time is now. I mean, is part of the problem that unemployed are in one part of Australia and the jobs are in other parts? All of this border stickiness. I know the Prime Minister wants the country open, but premiers are playing games. Is that part of the problem?
There's a few problems. One is labour mobility, the capacity to move across state borders. That's certainly having a problem. We're seeing that in Western Australia particularly. Queensland has now managed to keep itself open, which is pleasing. The other thing is a skill mismatch. 80% of jobs going require skills, yet 80% of those looking for work don't have skills. Hence this massive investment by the Morrison government in skilling and training, leading to 463,000 training places for those looking to train 220,000 trade apprentices. And of course, then you get these little quirky areas. For example, Byron Bay, there's 13,500 people on payment, but only 1,350 jobs going there. So you do get areas where people enjoy being, but there's no work.